Today we're going to measure resistance with a digital multimeter. So all of my steps to read resistance are going to be located to the right side of the screen. Let's follow it. Step 1, we're going to turn resistance on to the lowest setting. Okay, turn the DMM on to measure resistance. And I got my ohm symbol right here. And that's showing me that everything in this white bar, everything in this single bar is going to be resistance. Now I set mine to 200 ohms as my max. Okay, so next thing you're going to do is make contact to both the positive side and the negative side of the electrical component. Okay, every side has electricity going in, or every component has electricity going in and going out. Okay, some objects are, it doesn't really matter which side is positive and negative, but things like diodes it will. So I'm going to start with 100 ohms. Now, I can either connect to the metal, or I can connect to the two contacts on the side. Since they're connected, it actually doesn't make a difference because they're all conductors. So, now that I've got it set to the maximum setting of 200, I'm going to measure my 100 ohms. If you have good contact, it shouldn't bounce. I'm going to wait till it's good. Okay, and now I'm going to take a reading of 10. I'm going to say 102. Now for the assignment, I've asked you to collect what you measured in comparison to what the actual tab says. So now that we go to measure the second one, you're going to find you get this 1. That's an error. That's because we didn't adjust the maximum setting. So step 3, adjust the maximum setting to 2 million or 2 mega, 200K, 20K, 2K, or 200 ohms based on the object. Okay? 1 kilo ohm. So I'm going to use my 2 kilo ohm. Now that I have my 2 kilo ohm, I can measure my 1 kilo ohm. Now, the meter has adjusted to read in kilo ohms. So I have 0.981 kilo ohms. I'll show you what that looks like. So now that I've recorded my kilo ohms, 0.981 kilo ohms, you'll see it also means 981 ohms. Because if I were to move the decimal place over 3, because it's a kilo ohm, that's how many ohms I would be left with. I can continue this process until I read everything. Now, you might think, okay, why change the maximum setting? If I just put 2 mega ohms as my maximum, I can read all of these. But when I go to read, let's say 100 ohms, you'll see that you don't even get a reading because the numbers are too far apart. If I read 1000 ohms, still too far apart. 5.1 kilo ohms, it just barely works. So that's why you would adjust your setting to be above your number, but still close enough. Because now I'm reading a maximum of 20 kilo ohms. There's my next reading. Okay. Now you're going to continue this process to finish the list.